Hello everybody, this is TechHut. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is talking about video editors. Specifically, this is going to be a follow-up video to this, why I switched to Resolve from Kdenlive, best video editor on Linux. When I made this video, I was rather disappointed with my experiences in Kdenlive. If you don't know, Kdenlive is a free and open source video editor available on all systems, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever you happen to be using. And honestly, for free and open source software, it is probably one of the best and most feature-packed options out there for sure. But when I made this video, there were just some things that were not working that were completely detrimental to just basic video editing workflows. For example, one of the big things was audio clipping. You would clip audio, and if you didn't clip it in like dead air or just where there's no audio at all, it would have a little high-pitched clip effect. It just did not sound good. It was kind of discouraging. So about a week after using and now recently, this is a project I'm currently working on for setting up Steam OS on this device right here. And throughout this entire thing, there's no clipping. That's one of the issues that was completely resolved. And another one was slides. If I go to File, and let's go ahead and open a recent, and let's go to my guide edit, say no for now. This right here is a recent video that I actually published where that's actually that PC right there. I installed Proxmox on it and set up a Windows virtual machine. And I'm using a lot of these slide effects. So if I zoom in here, you can see I just cut the screen recording, placed it on top, did a transform so it zoomed in. So then we got this effect going on right here where it just slides over to replace it. It's a little choppy right now, but it doesn't look like that in the actual video. Beforehand, when you would do this, it would like have a black bar that would kind of go across with it. It just didn't look good. And yes, I can go keyframe by keyframe and do the same thing, but you should be able to use the compositions, drop them on in, and be good to go. This was another issue that has been completely fixed. And for the most part, any other little minor complaints and everything, I haven't run into any significant issues. Like a lot of other video editors, even big applications like Adobe Premiere Pro, those crash all the time. This crashes here and there. Actually, posted a picture on Twitter of a recent crash I had, but I posted that while it was still sitting there on this program is not responding. And I eventually just gave in. I hit wait like probably 5 to 10 times before I finally gave up and force closed it. But when it opened up, luckily it pulled everything and I did not lose really any time at all within the editing software. And other than that, the only other big issue I have is when you first drag in footage, it kind of gives you a little pop-up offering to have you change the resolution and frame rate to match the clips you put in. There's been a couple times that I like just throw a clip in and start cutting it up, and I go back and I click on that and it completely screws everything up. It like shifts everything over a couple frames because there's been a frame rate change. You could do that in project settings as well, but doing it through that gives you a whole bunch of warnings telling you, hey, save everything before you do this. But if you use their little suggestion button within the library there, it doesn't give you all those warnings and it doesn't offer to save it for you, and it just screws everything up. But that's the only issue I have at this point. And with that, I've been using Kdenlive a lot more. There was a period of time there that I completely switched over to DaVinci Resolve to do all the cutting, all the effects and everything. And now at this point, I kind of have like a two-stage workflow where I do my initial cut in Kdenlive, cut out all the dead air, mistakes, things like that, render out the footage to DaVinci Resolve on an M1 MacBook Air, do some color correcting, take it back to Kdenlive and do a bunch of editing, and then finish it off in DaVinci Resolve. I go back and forth. Sometimes I do most of everything in Kdenlive, but it's really nice to be able to have the option to use those two tools. But on Linux, if I had to switch back over completely to Kdenlive, I think I'd be able to do so. Although the color correction, color grading in DaVinci Resolve is absolutely amazing. Another thing is with the errors that Kdenlive had initially when I recorded that video, it was worse than what you had to do to get DaVinci Resolve working in Linux. With DaVinci Resolve, even if you pay for a license, you're going to have to use FFmpeg to transcode it to get audio to work. If you're using the free version, good luck. Unless if you have like terabytes of storage, because just the size of the media that DaVinci Resolve, the free version of DaVinci Resolve in Linux needs, like one video clip that would be like 500 megabytes ends up being like 30 gigabytes when you use FFmpeg to render it out to what DaVinci Resolve wants. So at this point, I kind of shifted to DaVinci Resolve isn't really worth using on Linux compared to something like Kdenlive now. That's about it. I just was making this video because I feel like it would be a disservice to the people who work on the Kdenlive project to not make this follow-up video. And with all that, if you're interested in trying it out, like always, download links will be down below. And if you want to see what package format you should be using, there'll be a video down below so you can see what runs better, whether that be regular repository packages, Flatpaks, Snap, app images. It's all there. Check out that video. And with all that, have a beautiful day and goodbye.